So this video is long time overdue. I've been saying that I'm gonna be doing this video for the longest while and I have not. So here it is. This video is about my PCOS journey. For those who don't know me or haven't had much interaction with me, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome at a very young age. I was probably like 13 thereabout, somewhere off there, 12, 13. Not very long after I started seeing, your time of the month, young girl and thing, yeah. So on this particular day, I wasn't feeling well, so I was home. I was home alone. I was mature enough to stay home alone. My mom was comfortable enough. Plus, I was living in Greater Portmore at the time, and we were living, Greater Portmore set up with a pathway kind of vibe. Yeah, and my neighbors were there. So I started feeling excruciating pain in my belly bottom to the point where I could hardly move. So I ended up having to roll myself off my bed and drag myself to the front door, open the front door enough to scream out. And my neighbors came. I threw the key outside so that they could, and tried to tell them, oh no, it's that key to get into the house to help me. They called my mom. Mom left work, came home. She took me to a reputable doctor's office in the Portmore area. Sent me to do an ultrasound. Did the ultrasound with same way within the Portmore area. They found that I had excess fluid within my stomach, and because of the amount of fluid that was in my stomach, I had to be rushed to the hospital, a hospital. When I got to this hospital, he who shall not be named, when I got to the hospital, gave them the ultrasound, went to the emergency room, was there for how many hours. As usual, Jamaica healthcare system set up. I'm not even have to go too deep into that. The wait and all of these things. Fine. We finally saw a doctor. And my grandparents, auntie, everybody come because Nisa sick. So everybody are come. My doctor at the time, they were saying that I needed a gynecologist, especially because I was so young. I couldn't be vaginally examined because I wasn't having sex, or that's what I told them, and that's what my mother told them and my grandparents told them. But this doctor was convinced that I was pregnant and I had an abortion. And the doctor come like him want tell my parents or my mother or anybody who had to do with me was that, oh, I had an abortion because apparently a week before that, a young miss came in not far from my age having the same pains and everything, and apparently she had done an abortion. Sir, don't mix me, that was not me. Anyways, the gynecologist came. They the original doctor, the rude one, wanted to do surgery on me to pretty much drain the fluid and to see what's going on, exploratory surgery. But the gynecologist came and said the fluid would pass. She would prefer if I stayed overnight. Nisa never stay overnight, my love, because not too long after that, them carrying one gunshot victim, put the gunshot victim side of me, and me ball living in water to my mother. I don't want to stay here. The gynecologist, allowed me to go home, and it passed. I got pain meds, stuff like that, because by then, I got medication to help with the pain and everything. Went to my private doctor afterwards. And she said, hey, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. My mom has polycystic ovarian syndrome as well. She explained and said, hey, you're gonna have to be placed on the pill because it's the only thing that they know that could regulate what was going on. So what happened, why I had that excruciating pain and that the excruciating pain and the excess fluid, was I had a cyst on my ovaries and the cyst actually ruptured. That so the pain, that initial striking pain that I felt, was the cyst rupturing, and then the excess fluid in the stomach was what caused the continued pain. Right, so at the time the only remedy that they had to prevent another cyst from coming up, because in the ultrasound I think it had showed another cyst or something like that, because there has been times throughout my journey that I've had multiple cysts. Anyways, put me on, I don't remember the name of that one. Put me on a contraceptive. So I started contraceptives at a very young age, not because I was sexually active, but because it is what would stop the cyst from coming up. Did follow-ups and the cysts pretty much went on. Backtrack, let me be exact, let me try to recall this story exact. I don't think it's the first time I went to the doctor. My private doctor, I was placed on contraceptives. She explained to me what was going on and that they were going to observe. So in another couple of months I was to come back and do an ultrasound. Yes, when we did the ultrasound, because I was feeling pain on one side of my belly button, when we did the ultrasound, my love, there was another cyst, and the cyst was as big as the size of a baseball. This is where she put me on contraceptive. I don't want to get the story wrong. May I try keep the story as detailed, so it's gonna be a sort of a long video, as detailed as possible, so you guys can understand where this whole thing is coming from, where I'm coming from, my struggles over the years. So placed me on contraceptives, started the pill, going, went back to do my follow-up ultrasound. The cyst had pretty much gone down little to nothing. So obviously this was a treatment method that they had me on, for years. Growing up, it was always a concern that I was on the pill and blah 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 blah. I know when I got a little bit older, I decided I was gonna take breaks, like give it like a 3-month break or something like that. The issue I was having with that was, if I stop one brand for like 3 months, I'm giving myself a break, I can't use back that brand when I go back on start taking back the pill, because it started making me sick. All the side effects of the pill, which is vomiting, all of that jazz. So I changed several types of contraceptive, high dose, low dose, you name it, Nisa has taken it. Skip forward to 2014. By this, I wasn't 24 just yet, but I was still having my struggles back and forth up until I was 23. I remember I was going to country, and we decided that we were going to do the journey, go Ochi and St. Mary and come back, because my family's from St. Thomas, so we were going to end the journey in St. Thomas. But before I went to country, I was feeling sick. I visited a doctor's office. This doctor, I had been there several times, and he had a slight idea of what was going on with me. So visited the doctor sent me to do an ultrasound because of what was going on with me at the time. Wasn't feeling well, the pain, nausea, can't eat, it just never did a keep. Went to go and do the ultrasound. I kept on saying to the ultrasound tech, what is that? She couldn't, and she didn't know all of that jazz. Went back with the results to the doctor. The doctor said that it's an ectopic pregnancy. at 23. Doctor prescribed medication, all these things, needs a fill prescription, start take medication. So then this is when me decides that even though me sick, me I go up on country run, and yeah, me do all of that jazz. Reach a center mass the night, sick like a dog. I vomit, and then the last thing that happened when I was there was I was vomiting, and the color of what I was bringing up was off. So my mom was in Kingston, so my friends said, we need to get you to town. My mom said, here what, this is like 3 o'clock in the morning. My mom said, here what, as the lights, like give it another hour or two, when they start light up, into town, because this can't go on. Reach a town, my mother picked me up out of Aberview roundabout. I go home, because me decide, say, no, just wait for the medication a little bit, mama please, I must that. Called the doctor, because I had the doctor's number. Called the doctor. The doctor said, Nisa, why you sit down and wait till so long? Why you never call? This is a situation that, we need to keep abreast of, Went to the doctor's office, because the doctor's office wasn't far from where I was living at the time. I'd moved back to Kingston by this. Wasn't far from where I was living at the time. And he must say, no man, he started to examine me, and based on where the pain was, it was isolated in one area by this. He must say, no, but this seemed like appendix. And then everybody started panic, because as I said, the color of what I was bringing up was just off. Emergency hospital, checking up on one private hospital. Reach at the hospital, the nurse them a farm fool. My surgeon come. My doctor was actually there too, because whatever. Doctor was there, surgeon was there, nurse them I couldn't get in the catheter. Problem with this whole journey, my love. Pure problem. Problem. Catheter finally get for coming, go in. Then I started to vomit again. And when the surgeon saw what was coming out, the surgeon was just like, move, no, immediately, go. So you see the people that run with me, my love. Anyways, operating theater reach. All along I was okay, up until when them tell me, so them are gonna put me in gas sleep. Now them time me start panic. Nobody want to do it, make me dead, please, nobody. The works. I remember waking up at one point and being like I was choking on something. Remember choking on something, and then I don't know. When I properly woke up, I couldn't get up because I had a cut. My scarring now is from the bottom of my navel all the way for quite a bit. One day I'll be brave enough to show a picture of it. I'm not conscious of it now, but yeah, one day I'll show a picture of it. When they went in, my surgeon, when I finally wake up, my surgeon came in and talked to me. By this I had done blood tests from the doctor's office, and then repeated them again. Blood tests from the doctor's office, STDs, this, that, all of that jazz. These are clean. So that wasn't an issue. Even the ones that they did at the hospital, the specimens, they even met them ferment away by B, and to see if something would come up then. No, it wasn't any of those issues. As far as I know. That is when they started to explain to me that when they went in thinking it was an appendix that ruptured. So me never get the little cute scar on the side of your stomach over there. So no, that's why I got the long incision, because I thought they were actually going in to do a cleanup job, because I thought that it had actually ruptured already. It had nothing to do with my appendix. That thing that I was asking the lady about, the ultrasound technician person, yeah, it was actually a cyst. Now this cyst was slow leaking into my fallopian tube and infected my fallopian tube, hence the pain, the vomiting, and all. So when they went in and realized it was not my appendix, they had to call a gynecologist, a reputable gynecologist. He's here on Instagram as well. My surgeon too is on Instagram. He's actually really popular. Yeah. And my doctor was also a part of this surgery. So they had to have me open on the table and wait until the guy, because he wasn't my gynecologist at the time. The gynecologist came in. He apparently cut the fallopian tube open, cleaned it out, and I think he stitched it back together up to now. I'm not so very sure, because I'm supposed to do a test to see if the fallopian tube is actually functioning, and I haven't done it. Point blank period. I haven't done it. I have no good excuse for not doing it. I have not done it. And they stitched the cyst open, from what I get to understand, so that it wouldn't reform. Came out of surgery, after that, I went and did checkups, dress cut, all of that jazz. I was placed back on minigynon. Was on minigynon for years. Actually, I shouldn't have been on it for that long. For the longer that time that I was on it for. So after that, I noticed my cycle wasn't right, but I never even to pay it no mind. I would spot dark colored, for like a week before my period, which is still not right, but dark colored, before my period, sometimes 1 week, sometimes 2, but it wasn't necessarily heavy, it was really light. And then my period would come, and then back again as usual, normal functioning after that. It was like that for years. By this, I was working in a doctor's office, and then that's when I realized that this thing is far more common. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is far more common than I thought it was. The doctor, I will say that particular doctor taught me a lot. A lot of things that I know how to do, a lot of things that I know I actually picked up from that doctor. He really taught me a lot. He would be having procedures, and I would be in the procedure room. So I did learn. I picked up a whole lot. There's things that I can do that, boy, I don't know why I never got medical school, my love. But anyways, moving on. When I was in a relationship, the relationship was toxic. I decided to end the relationship, walk away from the relationship, and I was a mess, totally stressed out, especially in the time when I was walking away from the relationship. I was totally stressed out. When around that time now, my cycle wouldn't stop. Like, I just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. I decided to visit my gynecologist, my regular gynecologist, not the one that performed my surgery. I had stopped taking a pill by the way. No, I didn't. I was still taking the pill. Let me not say, no, I didn't stop taking the pill. I was still taking the pill. He said to me, well, double up the pill to try to stop it. Because this was going for weeks now. Doubled up the pill. And he said, if you didn't stop within the space of a week, come back. Went back. He gave me Provera. Started to double up the pill and take one Provera. It should stop within, because with Provera, it can either fix the problem or make the problem worse. So it was a 50-50 chance of it trying to fix the problem. The Provera didn't work. It didn't stop it. Then I was told to double the Provera. That still never helped me, so at all. During this time, I started researching natural remedies, natural this, natural that, and that's how I came across my no-name product, the original blend. When I bought the product initially, I ended up buying a big bag. I didn't even realize. By the time it got to Jamaica, shipping and all of this, by this I had said, hey, you know what? F you, all the medications I stopped. Rot, I mean, I tell you as it is. Me say it, the F word. I need this to stop, and obviously the medication is not helping, so I'm gonna stop the medication and give my body a break, because this can't be it. I need to stop stressing out myself on the situation, because it is what it is, and I had to get myself out of that situation if I wanted the best for me. So I take myself out of the situation. I have to deal with it. I have to, put on your big girl drawers and take your health into hand. I decide to make a stop. Surprising enough, after I gave myself that big girl drawers talk, within probably like a week or so, period stopped. So, I just needed to push myself to feel better. It means that it's not your fault. It was never your fault, and nobody under the sun can blame you that it was your fault. All of what was going on at the time, I can say I was genuinely unhappy. But yeah, that relationship was toxic. So, the stress of exiting that, and for me, growing up, anytime I'm stressed out, my period would behave wonky. So it contributed to it. Hence why I even mentioned it. Bought the steam. After the period stopped, I followed the instruction, waited until how many days after, and I steamed. I felt good. I felt amazing. The steam was wonderful. I slept, because because of the relationship, I had sleeping problems. I had a whole lot of issues. I'm gonna be very frank and honest. I had a whole lot of issues. Slept. It made me horny, as I've told a couple of them, and I laugh and I think a joke. It made me horny. My best friend had decided that she wanted to try it too. And one day I just post it on my personal page, like, hey, I have this product, it does this. And a couple of people reached out and wanted it. And I said, okay. That is how I created the page Face, Body, and Beyond. So my first product was the product that actually helped me during that time, because by then, with the steaming once a week and stuff, the period had calmed down and had regulated somewhat. It did. But yeah, it regulated somewhat, and it's a go on, it's a do it thing, and so and so and so. Start the page, people start asking about more products, this, that, girl, I do our thing, and then I started a new relationship. I'm okay, I'm happy. Started a new relationship got serious. I started a new relationship even before I started that. Have nothing to do with it, but anyways, yeah. This individual helped me through a lot. But that help actually helped me, because you have to understand these stressful times, these stressful situations, these things that you're going through during these things, they affect your body. Hence why I'm even bringing any of this up, is to show you how all these things affect you. So in well, when we done talk, I tell you what my like I say. Right, so start the business and thing, and my stuff was working, my stuff was helping me. I'm not gonna say them was, they are still helping and all of that. I think the mistake I made was going back on the pill. you know I wasn't ready for kids, and so I started taking the pill, cause girl, I do things. So girl, I have to say, protect yourself. Yeah, started back the pill. Within probably months of taking the pill, no, I noticed that every time I would have intercourse, I would bleed. That was unusual. Went to my gynecologist about it. My gynecologist said, your cervix is friable. As you touch it, it would bleed. Did a pap smear. It came back. It actually came back. It came back weird at first, so that there's something was off, and it started fretting a cancer and all. So that period too was stressful. Went back and did another pap smear, because you have to check it again to see if you get back another irregular one. And I was actually okay. So cervix friable. Then after that, I noticed my period I behave real wonky, like even worse out of the odds. This is when my period started coming for, like, my regular period would come for its normal amount of days, to be exact, probably about 5 or so days. And then if my period stopped on Sunday, I kid you not, I would start spotting the following week. Sunday. Like clockwork. Every God Almighty striking month. And with my products, you cannot use them if you are bleeding. So, I can't steam, I can't use no pearl, I can't, my products I could not use at the time. I sat with this for, because I'm saying probably if I stop taking the pill and give my body some time, it would function normal. I sat with this for more than a year. Yeah, I sat with this for more than a year. The January of that year, I went to a different gynecologist, because I said, maybe I need a second opinion, a different person to go to. Here why. When I went to my regular gynecologist about it, he put me, because I did stop take back the pill, went to my regular gynecologist about it. He said he put me on Diane 45 or Diane 35, whatever that one name. That never worked. I try Yasmin, them just throw me off completely. So January come around, I said, let me try a different gynecologist. Did that. Wonderful, amazing lady. She's also on Instagram. Amazing. She sat with me, she chat with me, she laughed with me. You can reason with her, can vibe with her. I will tag her. But yeah, nice gynecologist. Of course, doctors aren't necessarily in agreement with everything, all the products that I sell, and I'm fine with that. I had said that I'm gonna give a doctor another chance, and I gave her the chance. I'm gonna tell you, I never regret going to her, because she understood where where I was coming from. One of her advice I did use, and to this day, it are the best thing I ever do in my life. But yeah, so went to her. explain to her everything from scratch, like how me I tell you now, from start to finish. And she put me on metformin. Alright, so Nisa started metformin. It actually wasn't bad. The metformin helped. It did. I won't say it didn't. It delayed the coming back for probably like a week. So by this month I get an additional week, and I can mess about a little bit with Bay and blah 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 blah. After the first 3 or so months on metformin, went back, gave her an update, because before she put me on metformin, I did an ultrasound and a blood test, and I did have a cyst that had like the cyst wasn't full, it was empty, so the sac was there, so all of that. So because I wasn't on the pill and I wasn't taking anything to regulate the cyst, because I have physical cysts that come up, it will throw off the hormones, all of them something there. So I had that. So I went to do it. She sent me to do an ultrasound. She was very thorough. Sent me to do an ultrasound, blood test, everything. When I went back to her before she put me on the metformin, she said to me, "Hey, your hormone levels are way out of whack." So here what? Metformin. Nisa started the metformin because, as I said, I was open to giving traditional medicine another chance, because I needed to get this and get my life in check, sis. Anyways, started taking metformin. Metformin was actually helping, it did. So I said, all right, cool. Since the metformin is helping, I decided to stop taking the metformin and start taking the natural alternative to metformin, which is berberine. Started taking the berberine. Berberine wasn't bad at all. It did help somewhat. I don't know what happened. I'm very inconsistent with certain things. I don't know what happened, and I stopped taking the berberine, or I think I did get fed up because I did miss a few, and then it caused in between bleeding, blah 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 blah. There's a tea that I'm gonna come out with for those who have irregular bleeding. I have a tea that I started. Oh yes, that's why I stopped taking the berberine now, because I started drinking this tea. So every time I know that the bleeding is gonna start, I would start drinking this tea probably like a day or two before, and it would ward off the bleeding. But you have to drink this tea every day, 3 times a day. And if you miss, the bleeding are gonna start. And then when you continue with the tea drinking, the bleeding stops. Alright, so that did work for Nisa all the way up until I worked with that for a year, I think, just about that. So from the January come down to about the December. Yeah. There's something in my head I using to remember the timeline. So yeah, that January did it, and then I'm country talking, and then the December. Now, if you guys can remember when I did the video on the pink salt detox, and I said I was going to stop eating chicken. Right, so that was January of what? 2021? Yeah man, another year, yeah man, 2021. That was the advice that my nice gynecologist gave me, and I said to you, it's the best thing I've ever done, is stop eating chicken. It's not easy, but it is the best thing that I've ever done. So I did the pink salt detox and no chicken. Alright, so I'm gonna sit down here and say from January till now, June, I've never had chicken. That is a lie. I would be lying. I have cheated on my diet because I'm a human being just like you. I'm not gonna sit down here and claim to be perfect. I'm far from it. I'm not. And the video you get long though. Yeah, I'm far from it. I'm not. So since January, I cut off chicken for, if me eat chicken is probably like once a month, if so much, or once every 2 months, when me genuinely can't find nothing to eat, and I just that my have to do. Me just have to feed my body, because then at the end of the day, anybody who knows me, I'm not the biggest in body structure. So I need to feed my body. Anyways, in addition to stop eating chicken January, I drink ginger tea. I drink it at nights. Sometimes I drink it in the morning, but the main time I drink it is at nights before bed. I don't take any medication. I can tell you, it's just since June I've even introduced evening primrose oil into my supplements. Um because I'm very, very keen on what I am putting into my body, because I want to see what is working and what is not. Now, since January, I stopped eating chicken. And I kid you not, by March, I started seeing significant enough difference. I can tell you, I noticed every change down there. The irregular bleeding cut back my love by March. April come and notice 1 week pass, 2 week pass. Nisa was the happiest person on the planet. June come. The only thing that happened in June is the week before my cycle, I had spotting for a couple days, and then my regular cycle came. I can tell you, my cycle is even, my period itself is a little bit shorter now, even sometimes 3 days, sometimes 4. It never really got past that, and if it even got past that, one little drop-ins or something like that. But since the day I stopped eating chicken, I kid you not, I have seen a significant change. I have seen a significant difference. Since I've started drinking my ginger tea, I have seen a significant change. I have seen a significant difference. I say this, and I come here to say this to you. With all the products that I'm selling, with all the medication that these doctors are putting you on to try and correct issues, yes, they will work, or yes, they will help, or sometimes them don't work because you have medication that did not work for me. It starts with you and what you are putting in your body. From me stop eat chicken, I kid you not, I have seen a complete change. I have seen a complete difference. If I do find myself that I had chicken one day or something, I do a detox. I flush back my system, because I don't want the hormones from the chicken in my body to with my period again. No. I can tell you, having the support system of my mom and my friends helped me through this. And a little cry, and a little uncomfortable, my significant partner has been the tears up for my eyes. My significant other was very understanding during all of this. Was very, very, very understanding. Nisa, it's not your fault. Nisa, you never caused this on yourself. But I can tell you this: stop eating chicken. I did. And even if you're gonna eat chicken, eat the locally grown chicken from somebody who is known is not injecting their chicken with hormones. I don't go by labels, so I don't even buy chicken I don't eat it, period. But I don't support even the labeled ones, because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You get what I'm saying? But yes, this is where I am. It's not perfect yet. I'm nowhere where I want to be yet, because I want to start exercising. I want to start doing some other stuff and everything. But my period is almost normal. because I do have some spot, and spotting before your period isn't irregular. So I will say that all I did was stop eating chicken, and I've now added evening primrose oil to my supplements, and I drink ginger tea. That's it. Nothing more. Absolutely nothing more. With my reoccurring, I've been open about my reoccurring yeast issue. Unless I eat something that is like cheesy or with dairy products or something like that, I don't necessarily have an issue. When my period is finished, I still do have a slight thing. Use my boric acid and nip it in the bud from real quick, real early, and that's me. So when you see me post about foods and stuff like that, it's coming from the fact that I've stopped giving my body, feeding my body with certain things, and it's been working for me. I'm not gonna tell you say it's easy. I'm not gonna tell you say it's an easy road. I'm not gonna tell you say it's easy to accomplish. It's not. But you have to try. You want the best for yourself, you have to try. And that's what I did. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. But try. Bye guys. I'm gonna do another video, a more detailed video on this aspect of my life. That is for another day. I'm gonna start back with my cooking videos, my smoothies and this, and I'm gonna do all of them. I'm gonna document all of them for you guys so you can see, so I can help you along your journey. Feel free to reach out, feel free to chat. Remember to go on my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, comment, share. I will be redoing this whole video again because I have to turn the camera the other way and posting it over there. So anything I missed here will be there, anything I missed there will be here. Probably if you write it down, but thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for being there for me along my journey. A lot of the times talking to you guys help me a lot. There are days when I'm sad and you guys are the ones that help push me through. I remember one day I was in the shop and parents are killing me and me a ball living here. Once I want customer come in there and she wouldn't even know, just the words that she said made me feel a million times better. So later guys.